Hey there, and welcome back to Scrap with Penny, where paper meets story. Today I am working on a travel layout, and this is a Peartree Cutfiles design team project. When I saw the February main release, there was a title on there called Absolutely Stunning, and I thought, I think I can parlay that to a travel layout for my British Isles trip. And sure enough, I decided that I'm going to work on Westminster Abbey, and so I have gone, surprisingly, this is from Magical Scraps Galore, and it's called Best of London, and this is actually a Disney World showcase kit, but I thought that the colors would be great for the stony look of Westminster Abbey. And so I have my 2 sheets of white cardstock printed up, and I have pulled 2 pieces of the London cardstock from the Carta Bella London collection, and I think I can make it work. I know it's a little different, but you have to look at all of your shades of the color, okay? And so here's my cut file. Absolutely stunning, and I see backing it with this navy so it can pop, and I size this down. If you buy this direct from Marie as a pre-cut file, it's going to measure 10 across, and I sized it down to where it's just about 7 inches across. For my sketch, I am going to reprise this layout. So when I was thinking about a series for 2026, I was thinking about a tried and true series where I go to something I've done and I repeat it. But I decided, rather than having a specific series called that I would just do it and call it out when that happened. So I'm going to use this layout, but I'm going to shift it slightly. So this page here is going to come over here, and I am swapping the feature photo from the bottom to the top, and I've got these pictures here, and then this page is going to come, this photo configuration is going to come to this side, and I've got these photos here. So this will be my layout, and you can see these are my papers. They'll be cut to 3 inches wide by 11 inches tall. 2 will go over here. Is that right? Yes, and 3 over here. And then there'll be a white margin, and I envision the cut file going right over here. This is kind of what I was going off of, is that if this is 12 and this is 4, then this would be where I have my room. And you can see why I want to back it, because it's going to be white. Well, it's not going to be white on white, but I want to ground it. I don't have any idea what I'm going to do in the middle of the cut file. If you follow my Peartree cut file layouts, you know that if I think I know what I'm doing, I end up changing it, and I usually decide in the moment. So this is where we're headed. I'm pretty excited about it. I'm going to tell you, I did not do a planning video for this because I didn't know that there would be that much to say. I did go into my photos, and I identified that I had 190 photos from Westminster Abbey, outside and in. These are all my photos that I took with my iPhone 17 Pro Max, and the pictures are just gorgeous, and reducing them doesn't necessarily do them service, but of 190 photos, there's no way I can do 4x6s. And so what I did was I spent some time and I deleted some duplicates. I deleted some bad shots. There are some shots that I'll never use, but I save them for context. If you've watched any of my planning videos, you know how I'll take a picture to help me remember something, never with the intent that I'm going to scrap that specific photo. And so I got my 190 photos down to 149, and then I went about the task of making favorites. And so I have 27 favorites. That's at least 2 layouts. And I could get away with 2 layouts if I come back and do an insert. If I do an insert, it'll probably just be a 4x6 pocket and not anything decorative, because this is about letting the picture shine. You know, when I do an insert on Disney, I'm having fun with that and playing with the elements. But to me, a travel album, especially overseas, is a photo forward project, and you want them to shine. Look at this beautiful hallway. I mean, it's just, and the tile, I love it. This is the exterior. This is one of these towers. And this is the interior. This is the beautiful stained glass that shows on the side. See, this is this right here. And if this is the front, this is how the construction works. So this picture right here is this piece, and if you've never been. And then, you know, because of the density of the city, it's really hard to get far enough away from it. At street level, you can't shoot straight up and have it not be askewed. So I went to get it kind of as straight as possible. I opted to stay with my photos instead of anything that I found on the internet. And I thought that this was fun for context. So this is my husband, my sister, and my brother-in-law. And I know this isn't the greatest photo, but it speaks to like the moment. We're there, we're amazed, we're trying to get a selfie, trying to get all the spires in, and I'm okay with it being a little imperfect. On my other photos, they're mostly the interior. So I've got a few interior photos here. We did work with a private tour guide. I want to get a picture of him in there. I don't know how I'm going to handle the journaling. This was probably my most favorite moment in London. I found this to be absolutely gorgeous, and I love the history of it and the fact that it's so sacred with all of the many people that are interred there. So, okay, I'm going to set this to the side. I'm going to trim my paper first. I printed it in the order that I opened the files. This is not necessarily how it's going to go down on the paper. I want to isolate this blue as much as possible from any sky blue so that there's not the contrast. And looking at it, I don't know how I'm going to do that. Maybe up against this one would be best. So maybe this one goes over here, and then we'll see where the rest of it falls out. Oh, and the stripe is going to be my horizontal band. So on the sample layout, it was a shelf of books. This is a very easy design, and I'm fairly certain this is from the Allison Davis photo arrangement replay class. And so in that class, she teaches you do 4 layouts with this photo configuration, but your background changes. And so in a situation like this where I don't have super specific paper to these photos, I wanted a lot of paper, but I didn't want to have many pieces of it. So 5 pieces of paper plus a stripe was kind of, you know, max. And I like that this neutral is in there. There's a real pretty brick piece of paper that comes in this collection, and I don't know if that will get to make an appearance, but at any rate, here we go. So I'll be back in a second with a little bit of progress. So here's what it looks like, paper trimmed up, and I'm pretty sure, well, I swapped these 2 photos, so I may bring this blue over here and bring the plaid over here, because remember, I didn't want this bright blue on this dark blue. So these papers are good, but these over here, maybe I'll bring the blue here and slide these over, because I'm not going to do it on camera. It drives me crazy. But I've got the cardstock cut to go behind the stripe. This is where my cut file is going to go. And so the next thing I need to do is cut some photo mats. And then I think I can get my paper order decided and get it taped down. So these are 11 tall, so they'll be 1/2 inch on top and bottom. And important note, if you don't have a wide format printer, this is a sketch you could emulate with letter size paper and not have to worry about, it not being 12 inches. Hey, so I am back, and real quick I'll show you that I used this 1/2 inch acrylic corner in my MISTI for the bottom, and I used the 3/16 for the interior margin. So I just went like that, and then for my photo mats I went with the 3/16, just moving it around and taping them down. And then this one is aligned with the 4x6 on this side, which I have right here. These are all these mats are taped down. This photo is taped down. So here's what we're looking at. And I did change the order of the paper a little bit, and I'm happy with where I landed. So let me go ahead and tape the pictures down, and then I will probably go ahead and draw my lines for stitching. Each one of these vertical strips has one line of stitching on it, and I love the texture it gives. So we're looking at my title over here and my journal box over here. I'll be back. Okay, let me catch you up to speed. I've got all of my photos down, and I've got my stitching done. I used 1, 2, 3, 4 colors of thread, tone on tone. And I wanted to show you this because this is actually a screenshot of our electronic ticket. And what I did was I went back to this collection and I printed a little 4x6 piece of paper that was the cream. And then I took that, so I printed it through, and then I took the screenshot and printed it through, and then finally I went to these Tim Holtz dies and I did the little ticket cut on the end. And so this is going to go right up here, and I'm going to use this 49 in market ticket underneath it. And then over here I've got 2 49 in market tickets and a little red camera that is Simple Stories. And then down here, this is 49 in market. This Westminster Abbey is off of the Carta Bella London sticker sheet. And Check It Off the Bucket List is from a sticker book. And I can't remember now if it's Simple Stories or Echo Park. So when I did the lunch tray organization video last year, I shared that I've got 5 lunch trays with different components in it, and it's all for this project. So one of the trays is stickers, and so that's why I can't remember, because I've got 3 sticker books, I've got probably 10 or 12 by 12 sticker sheets. But I have to say, I think that this is largely done. I will probably pull some brads or some enamel dots, maybe for a little bit of color here. And I just think there needs to be a little red down here because I have it, you know, I have it up here. So there needs to be some continuity, in my opinion. But I think that when I get this down, I think it's going to hold up to my expectations of a layout that I think is up to speed with the beauty of Westminster Abbey. Oh, so this is my journaling, and this part is flat. This is up on foam, and I went to my old goat, my OG Creative Memories corner rounder, to get a soft little corner there. And you know, I need to try and let that show. Okay, so I hope that you like it. I do love the paper for this. I think it's the right call. So I'm going to stop rambling, and I will try and wrap this up. Okay, so I'm back, and it's a wrap. I did find a corally red brad in my stash. Kind of looks like it might be Echo Park based on the shape of it. And it was one with metal prongs, so I just took my Tim Holtz scissors, cut the back off, and added some foam to it. So now I've got red here, a little pop of red here, and a little pop of red here. And then of course the blue is predominant. And I like the blue. You know, to me, blue is a neutral, especially a darker blue. So I've got the navy here. I repeat the navy here. I thought about backing the cut file with some pattern paper for a little pop of color, but at the end of the day, I felt like I had a lot of pattern already present on my layout. This is a chance for a nice solid cardstock to just shine. So this offset So this is my cut file, and this navy offset is an offset of 0.065, and you just get a little, a little kiss of color behind it. It's not super big. I popped it up on foam, of course. These are all on foam. This is flat because it's that thick chipboard, but I popped the middle up on foam. This is the foam for my journal strips. It's slightly higher than my little square foam I use down here. And over here, my journal, did I say this in the last clip? This part of my journaling is flat. There's foam here. I did the same thing here. Flat here, flat on the bottom, foam on top, foam on top. So you get a little bit of the ability to lay down, but then you get a little bit of the pop. I'm really happy with how it turned out. I think it's a nice classic looking layout, which on my scenic places, on my big picture places, on my, tourist bucket list items, I do like to let the picture shine. So a little bit of pattern paper can go a long way on a layout that is photo forward. I will pop inside the screen right now the tried and true layout that I emulated on this so you can compare. And remember, I flipped the pages, the photo orientation. So, and then on the other layout, the 4x6 was down here. And so it's just another, I like to show y'all how you can change up your pictures. So obviously, if I wanted to change up the background, I could do 3 1-inch strips instead of a 3-inch strip. But I like big chunks of paper. So I think that's everything that I wanted to catch you up on. I know that I'll have at least one more layout for Westminster Abbey. I don't know that I'll do that next, but it's out there, and I've got so many interior photos. And man, have you ever seen those layouts where they just do like a big 9x12 photo? I thought, wouldn't that be gorgeous? Because there's just so much detail and intricacy in the architecture. Let me know in the comments if you've been to Westminster Abbey and if you have done a layout about it. I would love to hear. I would love to know. And have you been to London? So I always am interested in the relativity of what I'm working on, and I would be interested to know if you've been and if you loved it. So I state in the journaling that Westminster Abbey was kind of my favorite London locale. So I want to give a big thank you to my subscribers. I appreciate you so much. If you haven't subscribed yet, go ahead and hit that button and join in on the fun. I'm going to wrap up this layout, clean up this fun mess everywhere I have behind me, move on to the next project, and as always, thanks for hanging out with me. Thanks so much for hanging out with me today. If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to give it a thumbs up, leave a comment, and hit that subscribe button so you don't miss a thing. I'll be back soon with more layouts, videos, and a little stash busted magic. So please come back and crop with me. Until next time, happy scrapping, and remember, this is where paper meets story. Bye-bye.